This can go down.
You can tell them that your secretary just brought you your
My secretary brought my chair up. We gonna spin it down. What's up, Pop? I'm gonna use curse words and crap like that during this, so don't hate me. Hey, Dougie's my good friend. He got me into cycling, so he's gonna keep me alive when I'm old, which I appreciate, because he's almost exactly my age. His birthday's like a month in front of mine, so we've become quite close. Hey, I like my chair. This is better. This is better. This is better. This is better. I'm gonna, here, I'm gonna.
You can ask them to sponsor you.
Viper chair. This thing's dope. This is like a Rolls Royce of bench. What the fuck is that called? Bench, bar stools. Bar stool. That's what I was looking for. It's on rollers. You can roll over electrical cords, all kinds of stuff. So, I'm a lawyer, not a doctor. Did I say you were a doctor? I'm going prescribing cycling for my old lazy ass. Yes. I guess we kind of got started. So the questions are rolling in. NB. Who is NB? Who are you? Hey. You are Victoria, Vancouver, homie, north of us. Yes, you are keeping me alive by getting my ass on something. This sounds bad. I'm going to start over. You have given me an exercise, an activity that allows me to exercise my, God bless, this is really not. Cycling is helping to get me, what's up, Nanette? Cycling is getting me out of the house and out of Dundon and doing something that will keep me alive. Yes. And I appreciate you enabling this activity in my life, brother. So I'm going to take the Yeti out. My buddy Patrick and I were going to go on a ride, one of his favorite road rides, 40 miles tomorrow. But instead, I'm going to pump up the tires. I'm going to pump up the shocks and pump up the volume, if you're that old, and get the Yeti out on some baby trails. So that is the plan for tomorrow. To answer Nanad's question, yes, we will be offering our own Forge Line based wheel package. There's quite a few bits you got to get to make it work, to really make it work. So PFC brakes it's not mandatory, but I would say it is highly recommended, mainly because the clearance between caliper and wheel is going to be we're doing a gravel ride next weekend. Well, sorry, I'm distracted. Okay, check. I'm with you, boss. We doing a gravel ride next weekend. Check. I'm on it. And no crashing on the Yeti. I'm going to do the baby fluffy trails. If it's got a blue diamond or up, I'm not on it. So I'm just going to go out and feel out the bike. It's weird. Back to cars, not cycling. Yes. Forge Line wheel package. Okay, I'm in. I should have my light by then. Would you stop? Save that shit for later, Doug. I'm very distracting. I love you. My producers are like, what the fuck, Jamie? What are you doing?
I'm going to need to start moderating Doug for these comments.
Right? delete. So PFC for caliper to wheel clearance, 19s, GT3, Supercar 3Rs. There we go. There was a 3 in there. That's what I'm going. Yeah, I did see your purple tips. Are you not a doctor? What are we talking about? Did this just get weird? Those look like very clean wheels. Are those dirty wheels? Those are dirty wheels?
Those are clean wheels.
Those are clean wheels. Okay. This is the before. We're getting there. Yes. Forge Line 19 by 9, 19 by 11, 19 by 11, 265, 305. I would order Damn. My producers are heavy-handed. What the hell?
That was me.
That's Doug. You have my permission to come over here and like give Caleb something purple.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Hey, make it fun.
Fun is not a problem on Whiskey Friday. Whiskey. I have not even had that much yet. Whiskey Friday. There we go. Yes, 19 by 9, 19 by 11, 265, 305. We can help you with what you want to do with them. You don't have to do the PFCs. I would, yeah, word up. Never ban the lawyer. Touche. Touche. That's good life advice right there. That's good life advice. Depending on what you want to do, Nanad, as far as wheel size, we fit them with the MCS on the car. So clearancing them on the inside, I would say should be okay, but things are going to get tight. So it's best to reach out. Let's get you a plan for what you want to do now, what you're going to do later, so that you don't end up having to redo something as you progress with the enhancements to the 4RS. We have a customer down at Laguna, John McClellan. He is there with the... No, Doug's just being Doug. That's normal. Larry. Larry said, methinks Dougie got into the whiskey early. Nah, Doug's just being Doug. It's good. We're talking bikes. We're excited about shit. It's good to go and suck wind and feel like you don't want to live anymore because your heart's beating so fast, but it's good for you. So do that. John is at Laguna. Spec German and Jacob got his car set up with our MCS three-ways, spec'd by Dundon. Don't just buy anybody's three-ways. Don't think they're all the same. They're not. Come to us. We're the one developing them on the chassis, and we're the one asked by MCS to do that. So call in Dipshit McGee or your local MCS dealer. You're not going to get the same shit as what we got, so call us. And I'm going to... Up there. That thing is what I'm talking to, not over there. That thing. So, you know, I'm not a TV personality, but I'm working on it. Please don't give me another chat thingy I have to sign up for.
No, Slack popped up on the screen real quick.
Yeah, do you have a customer Discord? We do not have a customer Discord. I'm old. Should we have a customer Discord?
Yeah. No, we can have a customer. What's the other one called?
Slack.
With a T. The one they have to pay.
Telegram?
Telegram.
We can have a customer Telegram. I'm already on Telegram, and I'm okay with that. Fuck. No. Here's why no. Because Telegram links to my personal cell phone number.
That's why I said Discord's better.
Tell them just to subscribe to our YouTube.
No, because the Discord will get all the customers linked together, and we can still moderate it.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take that under advisement, and we're going to ask Justin. It's going to go on his Trello board to figure out how we create a customer Discord, because it's like I need one more fucking chat channel to deal with questions.
It'd be
But
more for community based, so somebody like Doug and him.
Reply to this
in a
guy and say
Discord
not
together.
yet.
So it's just a
okay,
community base.
so I don't have to answer all the questions.
No.
I like that. It's a many to many, not a one to many.
Correct.
Mimo is good. Some of you guys don't know what I'm talking about, but you should. Mimo is good. And those hands and arms that are behind me over here, that's Philip, and he's working, even though he's sitting in the sim. Say hi, Philip. There you go.
Speaking
you
of
could-
Discord,
you
you
could
could
do that,
literally
you
have
could do
everybody
that.
who has a sim have a section, and everybody can figure it out
Later.
together. Yes.
Later. Thank you. Yes, there's many things for Discord that it sounds like we can do, which is great. I don't know Discord, but sounds fantastic. Off we go. It's like Slack for many people.
It's like Slack for people who play Minecraft.
Oh boy. I wish I created Minecraft, then I could invite you guys all to my fucking private island, but you know.
Is your island real or is
Ooh.
it made out of block?
right? Is your island real or made out of blocks? Is it really real or is it in the metaverse? What the fuck? I live here. I pay taxes here. I have a home here, you know? All right, so let's get started. What do we got up first? What do we want to talk about first, fellas? What do we got?
Right.
All right, we are at the track. Right on. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure. That's a good question. Let's look at this very clean wheel with a PFC brake and PFC caliper. This is a Forge Line GS1R. I remembered it. That looks like it's on the front of the car because there's a reflector. That is a 19x9 wheel shod in Goodyear Supercar 3R rubber. If you do not know about the Goodyear Supercar 3R, you need to know because it is a very good tire. It is a very good tire. It is one of the reasons why the Camaro has very good lap times, and it is not because it is a well-engineered vehicle. Sorry, bow tie lovers. It's decent, but it's really fucking heavy. The tires are really good, and we wanted to pick the best number of tires. Who is honking outside?
It's not a car alarm, that's a honk.
That's a full-on somebody's upset honking at shit.
That's not a car alarm.
Oh, it is a car alarm. All right. So we'll get to this, but my buddy Jake Clark is here,
Outside yelling.
and he is he's detailing the 4RS because it was really, yeah, I know, right? But they're that good, brother. If we get more people to buy them, then Goodyear will make more, which would really be fantastic. It'd be nice to get them. What's up, Brandon? So Jake, who is no longer a detailer, but he is my favorite detailer because he closed his business because detailing is hard. He's here today, and he is cleaning up, and for most of the weekend, he is cleaning up the 4RS because everybody buys these things, and they're trophies, and they want to rub them with baby diapers, and Caleb edited my comments about PTS baby diapers out of the last video, and I believe that it's not an unreasonable thing to say. There was a time, not so long ago, that GT3s were purchased by those that were going to use them, not covet them like my precious. Come on. They're not your precious. They're a fucking car to go use on the track because that's what it was built for. Now we got all these folks who are Porsche aficionados that are driving up the prices by allowing the dealers to commit crimes against humanity by keeping the cars out of the hands of folks who are going to drive them. You want to drive your car on the track, you should absolutely do that. Now, that has consequences. Are you going to win the concourse? Nope. Yeah, Brandon, 100%. 100%. So Brandon's comment was, unfortunately, I think the insane ADMs ruined it for a lot of folks that actually drive their cars. 100%. I do not, I could not agree with that more. Dude, Renlist is on my shit list generally. If I didn't have to be on Renlist, I wouldn't be on it because it's a bunch of keyboard warriors that know fuck all about what they're doing. Nothing. All of them are lost in the woods. And then when somebody comes in, and I'm not saying I'm that guy, but when somebody comes in with some knowledge and some experience, then they want to attack them. Good luck with that. It's why you don't see many posts from Dundon Motorsports on Renlist anymore. Because, quite frankly, Renlist is not the Renlist it was 5 or 6 years ago. I wasn't planning on taking this tack, but while we're there, while we're on the subject, there was a time in the 997 technical forum when folks would actually share technical information about the car. Hey, what alignment spec is working for you? I'm at this track. I'm seeing this. What tire's working for you? And we would share these things, and it was open, and there was a discussion. And then Moody would come and smack some people around, tell them they were dumb with a whole bunch of fucking typos because he seemed to type with like 3 fingers. And it was great. It was great. There was an open discourse between people who are using the cars as intended. And we would share information and we would glean information, and it was nice. It was nice. And you know, companies like ours were born out of some of the discourse, if you will, from what would happen on Renlist, and we would try and boil it down and crystallize and be like, here's our solution to this problem. Lifetime muffler for us actually was born out of a problem on the 997 technical forums. Guys would switch to race headers, they would crack the stock muffler, cheers, and we knew that there was a problem to solve. So we solved it. And you can't break our muffler, which is great. And now I jump into the GT4 RS forums and show them the swan neck wing, and I get things like, oh, why are you trying so hard? That looks like a JDM wannabe Fast and Furious flex. Okay, homie. You do you. You make sure to get those PTS baby diapers from that most expensive detailing place and rub the shit out of your PTS so that you can take it to Cars and Coffee and flex on all the homies that don't have the money that you do, because that seems to be what GT cars have landed on. So, we're done with that. My producers have me set up. We got new wheels. We're gonna park the sadness. We're gonna park the oh woe is me. We're gonna talk about buying a GT4 RS and using it as intended. This is what a 4RS looks like when you use it as you are supposed to. Those are brand new fucking wheels with 1 day on them. 1 day. And we took the car out. We went fast. It was a great day. There's clag all over the car. There's bugs all over the car. We do not have any fucking baby diapers here, but Jake is here to try and take care of the car. I'm not saying ignore your car and thrash it and don't take care of it. That's not the message. But I am saying go out and use it and know that you need to clean it up when you're done. That's it. Clean it up when you're done, but go fucking use it. That's enough. So we got Forge Line GS1Rs in 19x9 and 19x11. They fit fantastically. Man, the clearances on the rear to the Motorsports toe link, they're like a kitty whisker. Just a kitty whisker of touching. But no rubbing, no problems, no issues. 100% perfect. And thank you, Steve, at Forge Line for making this happen for us. The car ran flawlessly, and we're going to come to some track data for that here in a minute. PFC brakes on the car, and I knew I was going to like them. I knew I was going to like them. Everybody that drove the car, brakes are solid. PFC calipers, rotors, and PFC 11s on the car. Remind me to tell you what we're sponsored by today. And they're legit. They look fucking RSR race car. They're 100%. You won't get any more Cars and Coffee clout if that's all you're into than putting these on your car. Nickel plated, badass race car parts. And it's crazy. They're badass race car parts because they're actually badass race car parts. That's what they're used for, which is awesome. Feel on the brakes is improved. Why is the feel improved? Well, there's a lot of things that go into brake feel. The stability of the caliper. Feel in the pedal, it's a hydraulic line, right? So you got fluid that goes from the pedal through the master cylinder out through the ABS unit into the caliper. So if anything is flexing or moving with that hydraulic pressure, like the caliper, then you're going to feel that in the pedal as a little bit of flex. You know, it's kind of like having an air bubble in the brake line. So by having a caliper that's very stout and that is built for high pressures, like the PFC calipers, then you're not going to have any instability, any lack of confidence in the brakes. I'm not saying that stock brakes are bad. The stock brakes on a Porsche are fantastic. The next part of this is the pad choice. So the pads will dictate the feel of the application of friction in the car. So, and this gets very personal. How do you want the friction to come on? How do you want it to ramp? How do you want it to release? How do you want to, when the pads come into the brakes, when you really hammer on it, how do they feel? When you slowly release, as one of our local owners of a driver instruction school would say, you have to pull your big toe off the brake pedal, just very lift it up, and then you can begin to feel what brake release is actually about. So taking a nosedive through that, but you guys get it. So PFC brakes, great addition to the car. The other reason that we were at the track yesterday is to tweak and adjust the suspension. We did this previously on the last day we were out a couple weeks ago, and we got it, I'd say, within 10%. We brought the car back, took some of the suggestions from everyone, from Christian, from Paul, from Doug, from Roger, from myself, from the last video that we showed. And if you haven't seen it, check the video out. It's another track test on YouTube. And we tried to boil that down to its essence. Couple things. If you're trying to if the car is feeling like it's understeering, then you need more weight on the front of the car. Weight, both static and dynamic, is helpful. Rake in the car, so that means that the rear of the car is up a little bit, will push the center of gravity forward onto the front tires. So a little bit of rake, a little bit, not a lot, is helpful, because even a Cayman has a rear center of gravity bias. It's like 45, 55, something along those lines. So if you can move a little bit more forward, then you can reduce a bit of the low speed understeer that you might be experiencing. Seth, who's my coach, we had a long discussion about amateur drivers and understeer in Porsches. A lot of this is driver oriented. It's not necessarily chassis setup oriented. So the release of the brakes, what you're asking the front of the car to do when you're asking it to happen, is part of your development as a driver. Can we help make that a little bit easier? Maybe a little less to overcome? Yes, we can. So we did some suspension adjustments. Do we have a picture of the super soft sway bar?
It's in the Slack, Justin.
I'll let Justin find that, but I'll keep going. Give me a minute. We'll come back to that. Where we got to was the spring rate in the car was about right for the Aero. We're pretty happy with it. We were fighting the last time we were out with the, I'll say, end-of-life Michelins, the end-of-life tires that were on the car. And is that it? Yeah, go ahead and blow that up. I can talk about that for a second. So we're fighting the end-of-life Michelins, and we were fighting some understeer, mainly mid-corner exit understeer, but some of the slower corners also a little understeer. So, and this is really nuancy. It wasn't really a a showstopper, but it was, if I had to say anything the car isn't doing well, that's the thing that I would say. So we challenged Charles. We said, hey, so you have a completely stock car, NB, and the car is, I would say, unruly stock. We're generally coming to the consensus that it is oversprung and underdamped, and that's kind of how it acts. I'll come back to our customer at Laguna that only has MCS so far on his car, but don't let me forget to talk about that. So we put some rake in the car to bring some of the weight up front. We created what we'll call a super soft extension for the front sway bar. You blow that up. Oh, stop looking like I'm picking my nose. There you go. So essentially, Charles just took a rectangular piece of chromoly, drilled some holes, bolted it to the first two, and we made one more adjustment on the sway bar. So we call that a super soft adjustment. I'm not sure if we need to release this as a product. Maybe. We'll see. About the same, Brandon Meyer. It's not that different because it's exactly the same chassis with actually a little bit more higher spring rate, which actually makes it even worse for the 4RS than the 981, 982 GT4. But we'll come back to that. So this is the super soft version. We added a little bit of camber for the 265, 305 tires. We put the wheels on and we went back out to the track. Why don't we show Ted's stock lap? Ted's stock. Then we can show Jamie's stock, and then we'll go forward from there. So Ted is our pro. I would put him equivalent to Seth. They may argue this, but I will put them equivalent to each other, which is fine. Pros don't think they're equivalent to anybody, but Seth and Ted, I would say, are retired professionals. They still race. They still go out. They still drive cars fast. Seth is very quick. He is the consummate gentleman. We'll come back to that, NB. So best to ask me specifics privately. I'm not. This is hard for me, and I'm just going to share with you guys real quick. So suspension shit, chassis shit is more guarded than it should be. It's more guarded than it should be. Mainly because the companies that provide dampers do not reward the folks who are developing their products the way, in my opinion, that they should. So if I'm developing a business line for someone, they, in my opinion, should make it so that all who purchase it should have to come through me. They don't. And I understand why they don't, because that doesn't necessarily serve their business. That serves my business. Great. All that said, that creates an atmosphere of not sharing. That creates an atmosphere of guarding the information. I don't necessarily like that. That said, if you're a player, you got to play the game. So, feel free to reach out. There are some things that we can get you to help you get to that camber. I don't know that you would be able to achieve the camber that we achieved on our car without getting some parts from us. When you get some parts from us, then you get all of the information and all the goodies. Sharing it just openly out in the world is great, but I've learned that that doesn't necessarily make you come back to talk to us tomorrow. So come on back. Happy to help. Just not going to share it all the same. And I may end up sharing it. So this is Seth or Ted?
That is Ted.
This is Ted. All right.
This is a stock car.
This is Ted's stock.
On it.
Yep. So this just has exhaust and muffler on it.
Yeah.
Can you move me to the other side so you can see him in the car?
Oh, for sure.
'Cause right here is the perfect thing that you need to see. He had to catch the car right there. You see a big correction right there in 8A.
Here, let's rewind that.
Let's rewind that so everybody can catch it. Ted is a pro. Car is trying to kill him when it trail brakes. So he comes down the hill. Watch the steering wheel. Watch the yellow line. Oh, shit. Had to catch it. Ted even said, that was sketchy. That car almost went off. And he knows what the fuck he's doing. Rear sway was medium in this instance. Front was soft. Again, catch. Had to catch it. Coming back onto throttle. And I know Larry is a mid-engine chassis fanboy, and there's nothing that could be wrong with it from Porsche and blah, 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 but there is a lot wrong with this car from the factory. And that's what we're here to fix. I love you, Larry, but this car is not as perfect as you might have imagined it to be. Ted was working hard in this lap. You can see him doing minor corrections the whole time. So you just watched 141 go by. Okay, so Ted got to a 145 something. What was the lap time he got? 145.4 is where Ted landed. So let's show Seth's lap with all of the stuff done to the car. Here is Seth's lap. Absolutely, NB, and we can fix that. That's because it's set up wrong. So here's Seth. This is a little wider aspect ratio. You can't quite see Seth completely. Pretty sure he can. There we go. Shrink that up a bit. Seth takes a slightly different line through turn 1 and into 2 and 3, and the car is up almost 15 miles an hour through turns 2 and 3, which is, which quite frankly is amazing. You can see Seth through 8A, no drama. 8B, no drama. Just easy. Coming all the way up the hill, full throttle. Up over the crest, just going. 127 top speed coming into the hairpin, coming around the corner. Back on throttle, real easy, no drama. Coming through 13. Coming in the complex, going down to the bottom. Yeah, put that shit on soft in the front. Absolutely soft in the front. It'll be better. Down the hill. Also, NB, run the front tires a little under hot pressure that you think they should be. Like a half PSI, 1 PSI, something like that. You can see the difference. Seth's at 140 coming into the bridge. 141.7 is where Seth got through. That's 4 seconds. A pro versus a pro, stock car versus all of our goodies, 4 seconds in a minute 40 lap. Everybody gets all really excited about 4 seconds in a 7-minute lap from our competition in Germany. We got 4 seconds in a minute 45 lap. So, and this is with a pro driving it. An amateur is going to find a lot more. Because you can see the correction in Seth. He had a little bit of a correction in 6. He doesn't know the track well. He's just shooting it, going, a little bit of a correction. Ted saw that. I chatted with Ted. Ted is coming back from a vacation in Spain. I sent him these videos because this was just yesterday, and he's like, I think I can get to 139 in this car. And I honestly think he can. 139 in a street car on street tires at the Ridge is fucking nuts. That's nuts. This is faster than Cup cars. We had 2 Cup cars out at this day, and Seth and Christian both went faster than a 997.2 Cup car on Michelin Blues and a 991.1 Cup car on Michelin Blues. That's really fucking fast. I mean, and the drivers of the cars are not slouches. They were both got to 142s. We're marginally faster. I was not faster than them. We'll show you what I did. I'm still getting my shit straight. And it was awesome having Seth there. Thank you, Seth, for giving me some coaching, giving me some visuals, some simple things. We're as NB, the GT record, unofficial GT record, we already hold with a GT4 RS at 140.6, but we didn't have a video of it, so if there wasn't a video, then it doesn't exist. Right now, this is the fastest lap in a GT car at the Ridge, with a corresponding YouTube video. But yesterday was hot. If we can get a Bluebird early October Northwest day, like high 40s and like mid 50s, low 60s, yeah, 139 easy. 139 easy in this car. So you can switch to me stock because this is instructive and helpful that even regular guys who run companies and talk a lot can drive a car-ish. So one of the things you guys will notice is the car with aero and the car without aero are the same top speed. So you're not giving it up. There isn't a penalty. This is Zebulon. This is Ryan's design of this airfoil, and it's fucking tits. That translated from American current vernaculars is really, really nice. It's really, really nice. So you can, couple of things that Seth told me. You see how I'm leaning my head from side to side? Don't do that. Your cerebellum doesn't like it. It does not translate that into reaction for your right foot and your hands. Your ability to feel the car changes because your head is moving in a weird axis versus how the car is moving. So don't do that. You want to sit in the car and you want to turn your head to the corner. Like right there, here, this corner. I should be looking like that and come into straight. And then the next corner, I want to look at track out, and that's over there. I should be looking like that. I don't look like that in this video. I look like that a little bit. Not as much as I should. I tried it in the afternoon. Giant gains. NB, try this on your track day tomorrow. Physically turn your head to apex on corner exit. Don't just use your eyeballs to get there. Use your head to get there. Giant changes in feel. Like giant. As far as amateur driver guy, not a pro. I'm adequate. I'm competent. I'm not a pro. So you can see me, I'm 147-ish in the car stock. This is looping it again, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, switch to car fully set up. So, the thing that we're trying to do and that Seth and I chatted about yesterday was the difference maker with the parts that we're providing is that you can take an amateur and you can get to where a pro is in the car stock by giving the amateur more confidence and more grip. So remember that Ted's pro time in the car stock was 145.7, 145.2, 145.7, so 145.x, something like that. I don't remember, something like that. So here I am going around the ridge, and I'm trying. You can see my head's moving more because Seth told me, he's like, move your fucking head. It's a lot less bumpy with the MCS. Car's way more subtle and soft and predictable and easy. It's just easy. You can drive the car, not fight with it the whole fucking time. You can actually find a nice rhythm and go, not... Yes, the car is lively, it's great, it's awesome, yada, yada, yada. Guys that want to go set lap times don't want a car that's fighting them. You want a car that's compliant and it listens to you. It's not a bucking bronco's awesome if you're in the fucking rodeo, but if you're trying to get somewhere, you want a horse that listens to you. So all the twitchy is gone, 100% gone. And you can see me. I'm clocking along 144.3. No drama. Lot more I can go after, and I got to teach my boys to wash the windshield and not put the car in the sun, because that's why all these water spots are on the windshield. But we'll get there. It's part of why the car is getting detailed. We'll come back to that. So you can see all the areas that the car would potentially get upset with a ham-fisted driver. I'm putting it into, I'm proud of that apex. That's an apex that's been hard for me. That's 5. This is the back straight. If I hit that apex, I get to throttle earlier, I get through it. I did not do 6 right. You can see I never got to the first apex. I came around, I kind of hit the second apex. Coming down the hill, I'm hard on the throttle, which is great. 8A I did right. This is 8A. Coming to 8B, I did right. This is critical. I'm already hard on throttle. I'm hard on throttle all the way up the hill. That's 9. This is unweighted and blind, and it's a mind fuck. If the car is fighting you, you cannot go flat through that ridge, and you cannot point the car to where it needs to go. 12, I still need to work on. I'm doing it wrong. I got the wrong line. There's some seconds there. 13, I need to do better. I'm still turning in too late for it. But in general, what we've done to the platform is makes it so I can go actually drive the car and concentrate on my driving, not concentrate on the car and what the hell it's doing. We nick, Larry, we nick the rub blocks from 7 to 8A. There is no bottom out there, none. You don't see a big shake where the camera's like anything, like nothing. It's just a nick. And we're not using much compression in the front. We're 6 of 10 of compression. I had it lower than that. I added some back. So it's kind of like a chef. You've got a broth and you're adding a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of spice and a little bit of herb, and you're trying to make it right. And quite honestly, the thing that I'm the happiest about with where we've got the car is it takes 2 clicks of rebound and a wing angle change, and the car's attitude as far as the front gives up first or the rear gives up first. Sorry, Dougie's trolling me, and I appreciate that troll. I'll come back to that. The little subtle things we can do with the balance now with just a click or 2 means that we've got the balance just right, from the arrow in the front to the arrow in the back to the MCS settings to the springs. We thought we had the springs maybe a little bit too heavy-handed in the front. After we went yesterday, we're pretty happy with where things landed. So if you guys are looking for an alternative to $100,000 to $100,000 MR kit that gets you 3 seconds, and I'm calling them out, yes. This is the RN one, yes. But okay. Park that for a second, gents. I'll come back to that. If you're looking for a package that is vetted, that's gonna make the car a pussycat, MCS and aero. You don't have to do all the aero at once. You can do some of the aero and then you can pick the rest up. MCS is a for sure. You don't have to do the brakes. You don't have to do the tires. You don't have to do the wheels. But quite honestly, as a package, I'll say this. So NB talked about the 992 GT3. We have a 992 GT3 that's running Cup 2s with all of our shit, and it's the fastest it has gone with Christian at the wheel, who drove the 4RS. The fastest it went was 143. The fastest Christian went was 141.8 in the GT4 RS. So that's 992 GT3 Lab Rat, not on the same tire. That's on a Cup 2 or Dunlop or Cup 2 equivalent. I think it was actually on Goodyear Super Sports. So similar tire, not the same tire. And then Christian went in our car on a hotter day and ran the GT3RS. That's Christian's time. And Christian's a great driver. He drives a different line than a pro. I will say he's a little hard on front tires because he drives lower power cars, generally speaking, and he can get away with that. Right fronts take a little bit of a beating when Christian's in the car, but it's all good. But this car is almost 2 seconds faster than a 992 GT3 on the same track with fully outfitted parts. Now, Mr. Paul Blake is going to take that as a throwdown, and now he's going to want PFC back on his car with some 19-inch forge lines and some Supercar 3Rs. So, and I welcome it because I think both cars will go sub 140, and we'll have this tit for tat battle between lab rats about who's going to go the fastest and hold the record as the fastest GT car. We do have a local gentleman in an Audi that is very, very modified, Audi R8. He's got aero, he's got MCS, he's got wide tires on it, and I believe he has the current, I'll call it, street car lap record at, what the hell is Zhao at, 139 something? Something like that, 139, maybe even a 138, so, so in general, to sum up, we're really happy with where the 4RS has landed. We're gonna keep tweaking a little bit. We got little bits to do now. We're gonna put gurneys and carbon fender vents. I'll call these pseudo performance parts. Don't sue me because I said that. 139.8. Good. Nice Google foo. Thank you. So the current, what I'd say the current fastest car, street car wise, on the ridge is not held by a GT car, but we're going to try and get it back. I believe that a Porsche GT should hold the fastest street car on street car lap record for our local track. And Zhao, keep bringing it because you're making us try harder, and I appreciate you. You and Herrick continue to push the envelope on street cars and what's going on. Oh, brother, I need to send that car and Ted all over the fucking country, and I don't know if I have money for that. But yes, Coda would be fun. Get Cameron out there, have him have a go with it, have him and Cameron, Ted and Cameron go. I think Ted would hold his own at Coda pretty quick. That's an expensive budget. Road America is the one that I'm interested in because Porsche got all this stuff about a new lap record with the 992 GT4 RS at Road America. I think we go to Road America and give that a shot. That's a big boy track. Not that Coda isn't a big boy track, but that would be fun. Lots of opportunities. It's all about, quite honestly, I'd rather help get a couple of local customers in those areas. I'll say a little early adopter help. If anyone in those instances or areas are interested, please reach out. I like seeding the market and helping fast guys continue to be fast at their local tracks. Road Atlanta, call me. Road America, call me. Sebring, call me. Coda, call me. We can get that done. Let's talk about that, Tim. So the ECU in the 4RS and the 3RS is locked, like the most locked we've ever seen. The Porsche is on to the aftermarket, and they're making it harder. Luckily, our Go Fast parts do not require a tune. You can put the headers on, don't need a tune. In America, the rest of you, we're working on it. If you're in Europe, if you're in Asia, if you have a non-American car, if you're in the Dominican Republic, we're working on it. There's a number of really, really, really smart mofos working on how to get access to the ECU and to tune it. I believe it will happen. I don't know when it will happen. That's a good point. The next thing power-wise for the GT4 RS is going to be a plenum upgrade and a 92 millimeter throttle body or 93 millimeter throttle body. What we already know will work based off of our work on the 991.2 GT3, 3RS, 991 GT3, etc., etc. So, yes, we will reach out to Saga and see if they are interested. Traditionally, they like to run the car stock. Just saying. Typically, the customers of Saga are the ones that push for our parts. Ray, Alex, some of those fellas. So, Saga, if you're listening, reach out. We can get you hooked up with a lab rat for Coda. Be very interested to see what you guys do with it. Interested to partner with you to see how we go. Anybody in Europe that is interested in GT4 RS Go Fast parts, please reach out. MCS is dialed. You don't have to buy KW 4-ways. I had this question the other day. Why are your shocks 3-ways, not 4-ways? Because you don't need fucking 4-ways. You can have 5-ways or 6-ways. You won't know how to freaking deal with them. So let's not go there. What does high-speed rebound give you? Nobody can answer it. The reason nobody can answer is because you have to be a chassis engineer to dial it in. And that means that it's not, quite frankly, that critical. MCS is in stock right now, brother. If you want to pull the trigger, we can get you a set. We've already been shipping them. With lift, absolutely. We have installed them on a customer's car that's currently in Laguna Seca. It is 100% ready to go. You give me a call, we'll get your order in, we'll make it happen. There's a couple other bits that you need. You need extended tie rods in the front to be able to get the camber. We do not have our upper mounts for the front done, so we're going to leverage GT4 RS mounts from the 991.2 or cup mounts. They're essentially the same. The rear tie rod we're finishing up. How would I compare MCS to Manthe? So both very high quality products. In general, the difference between what we can do with an MCS product and what we could do with a Manthe product, that should be fine. RSS Stage 2, that should it's close enough. It's close enough. There's a couple other things that we'll get, but generally that should be fine. KW is difficult to get technical service from. If you have a question, you want to call them, you're like, hello, I am Joe Smith, and I would like you to help me to understand your damper curves on a KW. Click. That's what you're going to get. The reason you're going to get that is because they sell them to Manthey, and Manthey is supposed to sell them to you. Well, now Manthey is selling them to Porsche, and Porsche is supposed to sell them to you. And do you believe that the service manager or the parts manager at Porsche knows what to do with your car the way that somebody who has driven the car, engineered the system, and spec'd it all out knows how to engineer that system? The question is no, they don't. They don't know, and they're not going to get the answer. They're going to tell you, you need to run these settings. Well, why do I need to run those settings? Because that's what Manthey told us, and that's what's on this sheet that we were trained on. But my track isn't like that track. That doesn't matter. They don't care. So the difference in general, beyond the technicals of MCS having independent channels, having a wide range of changes in damper power with each click. 2 clicks on an MCS is a completely different car. 2 clicks back, 2 clicks forward. It allows you to do suspension sweeps very easily and quickly without worrying that the car is going to get lost in the woods. So that's why we use MCS, and quite frankly, I can call them and I can get answers. That's the end of the day. They are an American-made, American-born, enthusiast-driven company, and I play them up, and I pray that over time they continue to do the favor back to us, because I love them, and sometimes I feel unloved for what we do. But that's just me being needy and, you know, all that thing. That's fine. So that's the gist. That would be great. If you can get the car down here, we can get it set up, and I am happy to share all the setup with you directly when you've paid it for something. When you paid for something, then I can give up. I can give up the secret sauce, so to speak. And it's secret-ish. I mean, most people know how to set up a Cayman. It's not that secret, but it's a little secret. Novin has ordered MCS, and I directed him to order them through Not Us, because the Not Us understood the chassis he was putting them on. He was putting them on a, what the hell is the E46 based shooting brake car? The hell? I'm losing my BMW cred. I forget the chassis name of that car, but Novin will, I'm sure, chime in here shortly and let me know. What am I missing? Let's roll some pictures. Oh, we had yesterday's track day was actually a Dundon track day. It was specifically for guys that are fast, guys that want to go fast, and guys that this guy has been on track with before, that I trust. That when somebody gives me a point buy on the inside, I know they're not going to do something stupid, and I can actually take the point buy on the inside. It's kind of like racers you've raced with before, that you know if you get your nose in there and they give up the line and you take the line, that they're not going to come in and T-bone you and like close it off. That. We had a few guys who maybe weren't quite up to pace compared to the rest. It was a fast day. When we've got street cars going at cup car pace, that's a pretty quick day. The group's demeanor, the group's lack of red mist, the group's camaraderie, A+, 100%. We didn't have any drama. We didn't have any issues. Yeah, roll through some of the pictures. You can roll those full screen. That's good.
We got Caleb on somebody else's car, got somebody else on our car.
Yeah, we were. So one of the things, we had a free-for-all going on. So one of the things that as we're doing all of this chassis setup, I'm gonna preach for a second. So prepare yourself. Preach. Bring it. Bringing my soapbox up. It's coming. Let me pour myself some more liquor. If you're not taking care of your tires, don't buy any parts. Just that simple. If you're not paying attention to the PSI on your tires, if you're not taking tire temps, then you really are just fucking around on the track. You're not actually trying to go fast. You're just out there for a Sunday drive that is using up a lot of brakes and a lot of tires. So, fantastic, Muhammad. I'm excited to see how things improve for you with your Stage 2 Aero, and let us know if you have any questions. Tires. If you don't have the most expensive pressure gauge that also measures temperatures, that you can keep track of what the hell's going on in your tires, but you've got the most expensive car in the paddock, and you've got the most expensive mods in the car, then you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. The one thing that is going to help you go fast and go fast consistently is to understand what the hell is going on with your tires. If you don't understand what tire temps look like across the tire, and you're still out there saying, I want this alignment, and I want this, and I want that, and I think I know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I've never actually done this myself, then you need to shut your pie hole, because you don't actually know a goddamn thing. You're just parroting other things that you've heard on the internet, trying to make yourself look cool. Don't look cool, be cool. Measure the data. Get a long acre. Get the tools that you need to understand what's going on with the only thing that is in contact with the racetrack. Yeah, Cup car with Harry's lap timer roast. He takes his tires seriously. He doesn't have a race navigator. We're getting there. We gonna help Roger find the way home. I'm actually going to give him one of our Garmin's because Ted wants to help him break that 140 barrier. I know Roger has the skill to do it. We just got to help him find the few places in the track that he's not driving that Cup car exactly as efficient as he needs to break through that 140 barrier. The only way you're going to get there is through proper driver coaching and feedback. That's the second thing. After you're managing your tires and you know what's going on with them, you need to get proper driver coaching engaged. There are a lot of ways to measure what's going on with your car. We've gone through almost all of them. We've had V-Box, we've had Apex, we've had Garmin, and now we're on to Race Navigator. We like Race Navigator for a couple reasons. Race Navigator makes it very, very easy in the paddock to pull your lap times and video onto an iPad. So you're not having to log in. We've had aim solos. We've had all of this. You don't have to connect the car. It's like all over Wi-Fi. You just beep, boop, boop, beep. The iPad downloads the data. You can get at it within seconds of getting out of the car and seeing what's going on. Is it perfect? We're helping them get there. I'd say it's 90%. 95%. It's very, very, very good. We had a couple issues with throttle traces from the OBD2 CAN map. We're going to fix that with actually hardwiring the CAN in the car. We're going to slowly get this so that it is ideal. Doug has been a huge proponent and an early adopter. Yes, Catalyst is good. The only thing I don't like about the Catalyst is it's hard to actually do real data analysis on it. They just added that very recently, and it's very, very confined. It's not easily shareable. It's not the standard things that you would look at from an analysis standpoint, from a speed trace, from a time loss standpoint, from where you're picking up throttle. The next level of I went this fast on track. Yes, you went that fast on track. And why did you go that fast on track? What do you need to fix to go faster on track? So, like I said, if you have something that you're working with and you like it, keep using it. If it's helpful for you, keep doing it. That's really the only thing that's the most important. As we keep going, we're going to that exactly. If you had an OBD2 hookup, it would be great, and it's not. And there's things that you need as you advance as a driver that are important to have. What was your braking? What was your brake point? What was your brake pressure? How was it different? What was my line? How did I get through this corner complex? Why was I faster? All of that kind of shit, right? As you get faster, as you start knocking down, I'm taking care of my tires. I know what my tire pressures need to be. I know what the tire temps are. I know what my alignment is. You need to start looking at these squiggly lines. The great thing about the Race Navigator, and I'm going to pitch this to y'all, is you see all these things on the left? Those are laps. It individually curates all of them so you can see the video, all the traces, all the throttle angle. You can see your line through. You can share it with your buddies. You can screen record your iPad and show you versus another driver and the comparison between the two. It makes it all... I can honestly say that our little local track group is faster because of the Race Navigator data that we've shared, videos that we've shared, lines that we've experimented with to share this. We don't all have to have the singular answer, but like this, exactly. You can see between three guys, you can play this all at the same time. You can see each of their laps, each of their lines through different sections of the track, and you can compare and contrast what's going on. Who was faster? Why were they faster? What worked? What didn't? And it's really nice. The camaraderie with your buddies, if you have that in your track group, and if you don't, find a different track group, because we're just egging each other on, right? Everybody just wants to get faster. I'm excited when Francis has a BGB built. We call it the base Cayman. It's a banana. It's a 4.25 liter. It's got some of our parts on it. It's not got all of our parts on it, but fuck yeah, if he's out going fast, I want to figure out why. Francis and I have this little duel going on. He wants to be faster than the 4RS, and I just want to stay the fuck in front of him as a driver, because I honestly believe Francis is a faster driver than I am. I just have all the cheater parts, and that's why I started the company, so I'd have all the cheater parts. So there you go. And it just makes it fun. That's why we do this shit. Nobody wins anything. We go out and have fun. If you go out and have fun, you keep that fun mindset, then you're winning. Then you're winning.
All right, Jamie, what kind of laps do you want to see? We got your old lap and Ted's stock lap. And
We played those already.
We did? So do you
Yep.
want to see your and Seth's lap? We did.
We did those.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. You were down chatting. You're good. My producer
Has been paying
Producer-
absolutely no attention.
My producer number 1 and number 2, one of them's been drinking whiskey, and one of them had whiskey earlier when they just got here. So we can tell which one is that. Yes, brother, the cheater parts, they make the car more fun. They make the car more fun. That's the whole reason we make cheater parts. Cheater parts, cheater tires, all of it. Fuck it. You spent $250,000 on a car, make it more fun. Just make it more fun. Go out and embarrass your buddy that thinks he's hot shit in his 992 RS and can't pull the lap times you do. Holla! That was old school for all you that don't know. All right, let's go to questions. Who got questions for me? Had a couple questions. Scroll back up. Doug and Larry were having a Doug and Larry debate, as they often do on the chat, but they were doing it on our YouTube live. And sponsored by Viper Barstools. Let me roll this over. Viper Barstools. Chairs. Whatever the hell they are. You want one? Viper chairs. They're badass. They're cheap. They're not cheap. They're like Dundon parts. They're good. They're good, but they're not cheap. You get two things. What's that?
Thank you, Chris, for the sim setup.
Oh yeah, Christian. We ran. I did not shout out Christian as much as I should. So Christian has been a big part of our development for this. He was there for the chicane day and he drove the car. He was there yesterday and he drove the car. And he's driven. He is a Cayman driver. He had a green 718 GT4, and the fastest he'd ever gone in his was 144. And he was floored that he was able to go 141 in the 4RS. He didn't think it was going to be possible. Because I told him before we were going, I was like, I think I'm going to drop 2-3 seconds from where, and he's like, Jesus, 2 or 3 seconds, that's a lot. And he dropped 3 seconds from a stock GT4. So it's real. It's real. And Christian is not a professional driver, and he was only a 10th off of Seth. They went back to back, still in the morning when it was not greasy, when it wasn't hot out, and they were only off by a 10th. Were their lines different? Yes. Oh, it was 500. It was 500.
Which is half a tenth.
Half a tenth, not a tenth. I was thinking it was 1 point.
It's on there.
I thought it was 141.7 versus 141.8. You can kind of see those numbers.
824 and 780.
There you go. So yes.
Look at him in the look. This is the afternoon. 143 in the afternoon.
Yeah. So he went out 143. I was 2 seconds off my fastest. He was 2 seconds off his when things got a little hot, got a little greasy. So, I mean, kudos to Christian. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate it. You used to frustrate me on the chat because you and I are made similarly and like to debate a topic until it's fucking bloody and like a mess of roadkill on the floor. But I understand you. You are exactly like me from another place, and I appreciate it. And another place, another space, another perspective. Obviously, you're from another place. You're not born in Baltimore, Maryland. So yes, I don't know anybody who was. I'm from Baltimore, yeah. Balmer. You got to say it right. Balmer, Maryland. Down by the ocean. Your remote control.
Hey, you got a good one. Orioles.
Now, 0624, he likes his cheater part. We're going to try and quantify that. That's a good question. Let me repeat the question. So, roll back up for a second. 064 asked a really good question. Do I think that the Supercar 3R is a 1 second faster tire compared to a Cup 2? It depends. So I will say it depends. And the reason it depends on what the other things are on the car to enhance the contact patch of the tire. For instance, if you put MCS on the car first, then the tire is going to be in contact with the ground more and more consistently, so that tire will seem to have more grip. If you did MCS and Aero first, then that tire will seem like it has even more grip and consistency because you're aiding it in the areas where that tire might have been deficient. And this kind of goes to NB's question as well. A grippier tire can mask chassis flaws. We've all seen that. The guy that has done nothing else and put Hoosiers on the car and he goes quicker because the car is quicker. It's got more mechanical grip. So yes, the tire is grippier, the car is going to go faster. Did it get rid of its nasty tendencies? No, they're still there. Is he having to drive around them? Yes, he is having to drive around them. So what I would say is get the chassis set up first. Mechanical grip is first. So let's get MCS on the car. Let's get the appropriate amount of suspension kinematic help, be they tie rods or shim kits or upper mounts or whatever we need to get the kinematics of the car right. And then we change the tires, or then we add aero, etc., etc. So in sequence, I like to start with getting the chassis supple first. Then let's add sticky tires, or let's add aero, or whatever dealer's choice after that. If you're going to try and do it in sequence. Budget minded, I would not do the 19-inch wheels first. They're very good, and you get access to some very good tires by doing that. I would say MCS, 100% MCS first, so we can get the car compliant. And the reason that I say that is we have a customer at Laguna. He had not driven the car since the MCS were installed. And he and Paul Blake, who owns the 992 GT3 Taxi Lab Rat, are at Laguna. They both drove the car. They both came back and said, the car is fucking magical. It doesn't do anything wrong. It's subtle and supple and easy, and they're at a track that they don't know very well, and they're killing it. They're having a great time, which at the end of the day, that's exactly what we're looking for. Let's not make the car scary. Let's not make them hard. Let's make them easy. Make it easy. Then let's add on top of easy. Once the car is easy and you have confidence, then it's a lot easier to get you more confidence and get you a lot faster. So, answer to John's question is a little harder, because I would say it's a moving target based off of what the rest of the car is doing. If it's throw sticky tires on a stock car versus sticky tires on a R2 Motorsports, go back. I will tell you, go back and watch our first 2 videos on YouTube. That will answer that question.
That is a good question.
So, $300,000 for a 4RS, in my opinion, is fucktard level money. It's, and I'm going to be as brutal as I can. I think Porsche is doing a bit of a money grab with this car. It is a 981 chassis with a 981 interior, with 981 aero, with a GT4 RS engine in it. So, is your money better spent on something else? 992 GT3? That's a pretty badass car. What
My
you got?
buddy just sent me that. He's watching.
So, personally, I think the 992 GT3 is a better car. I think it's a better engineered car. I think it's a car that is a more modern car. And Larry's going to roast me because he knows that I have a 911 slant, and that's fine. But fuck me, Porsche. Really? You're going to give us a 981 and throw a... Yes, exactly. A 992 GT3 is supple and almost right out of the box. Can we make it faster? Yeah, absolutely we can make it faster. But the 4RS has a lot that needs to get done to make it, dare I say, an RS. I mean, it needs a lot. No, it's Porsche. Fair enough. The 4RS is not a $300,000 car based on MSRP. It's about you could get a stripper model 180, 185. I think ours MSRP is like 185. At 185, the money that you have to spend to get the 4RS right, yeah. But quite frankly, a 992 GT3 MSRP for a stripper is like 190. They're not so far away. Would I buy a 3RS over a 992 GT3 or a GT4 RS? Struggling with that. I make the cheater parts. I can make the car as fast as a 3RS. So, for a lot fucking cheaper than $150,000. And quite honestly, I'm going to go to JBACC. Just buy a cup car. Because you can get a 991.2 cup for 150 grand. Fucks every single fucking street car up every single day of the week. Except for, well, almost. Except for ours. Our GT4 RS at the last track day the 2 Cup cars were consistently a half second faster than the 1 fast lap that a pro put in on our car. So there you go. We were a little faster than a Cup car on the last track day, but the Cup cars, they're consistently just fucking fast. And quite frankly, when you're going that fast, you're almost going sub 140 on a, what's the ridge, 2.3 miles, 2.4 miles track. I feel a lot more comfortable with a full fucking cage and a fire suit and fire protection on in the car. So that's, yeah, find me a non-Wysock 4RS for 165, Larry. Not for the next 3 years will you see that car for 165. Maybe the one that's salvage titled, it was upside down going down the hill at Laguna. That one might be 165, but none of the others. NB, power-wise, honestly, stock for stock, the 4RS and the 992 GT3 are about the same. So if you want headers because you want headers, you want that edge, you can get headers. I would say that isn't the thing that's going to necessarily make the car faster on track. We make headers. I'm telling you the truth. MCS will get you there the fastest. I would do MCS. I would do PFC 19-inch and Supercar 3Rs. I would do wing and dive planes, or wing, dive planes, and splitter. And I would do them in that order. Spread them up. You don't have to send me $40,000 for all the parts all up front. That's not necessary. Get them, make the car fresh, make the car fun, keep it relevant, make it so that you keep the car, because ADMs are fucking painful, and don't make it so that you need to go buy a new car to keep that smile on your face. Dole it out. Unlike our competition in Germany, you can buy our parts as you want them. Not as a whole fucking $100,000 package and a fuck you and a bend over and let me shove it in kind of I am German and no soup for you kind of attitude. You can buy the little bits that you want. We'll dole it out as you need it. 991.1 I'd stay away from. 991.1 is a bag of drama that's about to drop because the 10-year engine warranty is about to go up, and we're not sure what Porsche is going to do with the finger follower issue. Are they going to keep those things under warranty? Are they going to let them all burn to the ground? 991.2 GT3 versus GT4 RS.
Unofficially, we're faster.
Well, my buddy Pat, the co-founder of Dundon Motorsports that I have bought Dundon Motorsports from, he is a fast driver. I would say he and I are about the same. I like my cheater parts. He has a 991.2 GT3. He's got sticky tires on it. He's got the Carbon Rev wheels that I bought from Carbon Rev before they stopped making them. He bought them from me, and I regret selling them. It's kind of how this shit goes. So now he's got like one-of-one bespoke carbon wheels on his 991.2 GT3. The fucking thing looks awesome. That's really good. 170 for your 4RS. Let's invest some money. Let's make this thing really, really fun. You're gonna have it for a long time. He could not even come close to hanging with me on the 4RS with all the parts. Now, Pat doesn't have suspension. Pat has AP brakes. He has 19-inch wheels. He has 19-inch tires. He doesn't have suspension. He doesn't have aero. Cars are probably within 25, 30 wheel horsepower of each other. So 991.2 GT3 is going to be as quick as 4RS. It depends on what you throw at it. You're kind of, R2 Motorsports, you're kind of into, I would still tell you, if you have to have a street car, try and look for a stripper non-Wysock 991.2 RS. That would be the thing that I would tell you to get. 991.2 RS, we got Ramses, who is always working when we're up here fucking around on social media. The tape that you're hearing is him taping boxes for y'all to get your parts to you, because everybody wants to call us and say, where's my shit? That's why. Because he's still boxing shit up, and it's coming to you. And Philip over here, who occasionally reaches for his whiskey, throwing the hello that Elliot called out. That's what we were laughing about. That was Elliot, yeah? No?
Someone. No, it wasn't Elliot.
Wasn't Elliot? God damn, man. How much whiskey have you had? I'm kidding.
There's Pat.
Pat's car. Perfect. Yes. Pat's a classic Porsche collector. He is like the anti-Jamie. He likes the subdued silvers and grays and the subtle colors of Porsche GTdom. I'm of the mind you have a sports car, it should scream sports car. I want the orange one. I want the black with orange one. I want the other orange one. There's a theme here. You guys haven't picked it up yet. You should pay more attention. I like the bright sports car colors. I mean, even my RS6 is, I don't even know what blue it is. The shiny dark blue, and I got gold wheels on it. Fuck you. You know how much shit I get from Pat? Pat thinks my car looks like a fucking Subaru.
Really? Subaru?
God damn it. He's like, nice Subaru.
Oh, you mean 2005 BMW M3 Blue?
Yeah, I have one of those too. I have a theme here. Except for all the Porsches. I like blue. It's all good. Anyway, that's my push for all of you who might be interested. Right? Word up. So Pat will eventually get MCS. He's already asked about it. He will be faster with MCS for sure than the stock suspension. Let me talk about that for a second. Why is motorsport suspension better than Porsche suspension? And this goes to all your 992 GT3 RS owners that are so happy you have little dials on the steering wheel. Good for you. You have dials on the steering wheel. You still don't have motorsports blow off. You still cannot suck up curbs like a motorsports damper, and you still do not have the range nor power of a motorsports damper. That's why motorsports damper. I am curious if I can trade my 4RS in for something that's reasonable. I may strive or endeavor to get a 3RS just to fuck with the purists. I'm gonna take off all their whiz-bangery, put my whiz-bangery on it, and see if we can make it faster. I think we could, but nobody's gonna like me if we do. Nobody's gonna like me very much if we do. Maybe they will like me. Maybe they're actually track rats that want a fast car. But when you spend $500,000 on a car, you don't want some 7 dudes in Gig Harbor showing them up with a bunch of homegrown parts that weren't made in Wysock or et cetera places. Anywho, anybody else with questions? Jesus Christ, it's 6:10. We went for a while today. I got to go home and cook some steaks. I got to finish this whiskey. So, anybody with questions, if you're even still listening, then shoot them to me in the comments of this, and we'll get it pushed out. Thank you for joining us. We covered a lot of topics. I talked a lot of bullshit, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Good night. Until next time. See you later.